Chosen one, tonight heaven stirs you from the weariness of ordinary days. There is a vibration in your spirit that refuses to be silenced, a gentle pull reminding you that tomorrow morning is not just another sunrise. It is a divine appointment written before time began. You are not waking to routine, you are waking to revelation. You feel it, don't you? That stirring that won't let you rest comfortably anymore. The atmosphere around you has shifted. Angels are already preparing the path before your feet touch the ground. The King has issued a command, and your name is written on it. You are called to rise before the world wakes, to meet him at the altar of dawn. Heaven has observed your silent battles, the nights you cried, the moments you almost gave up, the prayers you whispered when no one else believed you. Those moments were not wasted. They were seeds of surrender, and tomorrow, the harvest begins. This assignment is not about what you do, it's about who you are becoming. Listen carefully before the sun rises. You are to stand still in the quiet, breathe deeply, and whisper his name. Let gratitude fill your chest before words of request ever leave your lips. The Spirit is saying, meet me before you meet the world. The instruction may seem simple, but obedience in small things opens the gates of glory. You are not waking alone. All of heaven leans close when a chosen one decides to obey. Even the winds recognize your name when it's spoken in obedience. Tomorrow's morning is sacred, and do not treat it lightly. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, "But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." When you rise tomorrow, you are to seek, not scroll, not stress, not chase. Seek. The moment your feet touch the floor, whisper, "I am awake for you, Lord." That single act of surrender will shift the spiritual climate around you. You will feel it, the weight lifting, the confusion clearing, the peace descending like soft light over your soul. The heavens will respond to that whisper. You will sense movement in unseen realms, a holy stillness settling in your space. Even your heartbeat will seem to echo his name. That is how heaven confirms obedience with a peace that speaks louder than thunder, assuring your spirit you are exactly where you belong. Then the morning light will stretch across your room like a promise kept. In that moment, remember that every new day is mercy renewed. You were not given breath just to survive, you were chosen to create light in the places that once knew only shadow. Your awakening carries purpose beyond comprehension. And as your eyes meet the first glow of dawn, speak gratitude aloud. Let your words rise like incense. The Father listens when a heart overflows with thanks. Each breath of appreciation tears down walls built by worry. Gratitude is warfare in disguise. It shifts atmospheres faster than any sword could strike. Do not underestimate this instruction. Many will sleep through destiny because they treat divine timing as optional. But not you. You were never called to blend in. Heaven marked you as a signal fire in the dark, and now, that flame must be tended. The first spark of obedience is lit at dawn. Tomorrow morning, do not rush. Let your room become a sanctuary. Let your breath become prayer. And when your heart feels his presence, stand boldly and declare, "I am awake, and I am yours." This is not coincidence, this is divine intervention. God has interrupted your scroll for a reason. Every word reaching your eyes right now is heaven confirming that your time has come. You've been hidden long enough. The waiting season is over, and tomorrow's sunrise carries your release. So tonight, prepare your heart. Set your alarm with intention. Go to sleep whispering his name, knowing that angels will guard your rest. The enemy will try to distract you, to delay you, to make you forget, but remember, the instruction is simple. Rise, give thanks, seek first. That's all. Yet that obedience will unlock a chain reaction of blessing no eye has seen. You will sense His nearness like never before. You will hear whispers of direction you once begged for. You will feel peace returning to places where fear once ruled. And you will know, deep down, that you were never forsaken. Heaven always had you in mind. Chosen one. This is the beginning of a new rhythm. The dawn belongs to the devoted, and tomorrow, the dawn will recognize you. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit, take a moment like this message. Share it to reach another chosen one who needs to wake up. And comment your number of agreement below 777. Let heaven see your declaration of obedience. Subscribe and stay connected to the flow of prophetic direction that continues beyond this moment. Your assignment begins tomorrow. Rise early. Seek first. Watch what God does next. The air before dawn holds a mystery few understand. It is in that stillness that heaven writes its schedule, arranging divine encounters while the world still sleeps. Chosen one, you must know tomorrow's sunrise is not a coincidence. It is a summons. The timing of heaven is never random. You have been included in a plan designed long before your birth. When you wake, the sun will not simply rise. It will reveal. Light will pour over things once hidden, and the unseen orchestration of heaven will begin to unfold in your life. You will understand why certain doors closed, why people left, and why waiting was necessary. What seemed like delay was actually divine alignment. Heaven's schedule is not measured in minutes but in obedience. The moment you say yes, things begin to move in unseen realms. Angels are dispatched, and the timing of miracles adjusts to your agreement. You are not running late, you are being synchronized with divine order. It may feel like your life has been on pause, but listen, God does not waste stillness. Every quiet season prepares you to hear instructions others miss. This is why your morning assignment matters. The dawn is heaven's meeting hour, and tomorrow, the clock of destiny will strike your name. You were not abandoned, you were positioned. The same God who hid Moses in the reeds has been hiding you in plain sight. He was not punishing you with silence. He was preparing the stage for manifestation. You have been in training, even when you thought you were forgotten. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. Do you see now there is a rhythm to divine timing? Heaven does not rush, but it never delays without purpose. The reason tomorrow morning is sacred is because it aligns your heart with that rhythm. When you step into that stillness before sunrise, you are stepping into sync with heaven's heartbeat. This is the hidden reason why some people live under constant frustration. They are out of sync with heaven's flow. But you, chosen one, are being recalibrated. The Spirit is drawing you into His timing, adjusting your pace, resetting your inner clock so that divine opportunities meet you at the right moment. You will begin to sense this rhythm even in small things. You will notice that peace replaces panic, that you no longer feel the urge to rush. You will feel led instead of pressured. You will learn to move when the Spirit moves and rest when the Spirit rests. This is the mark of the chosen alignment, not striving. Tomorrow morning is not just about prayer. It is about posture. As you wake, you align your body, your breath, your thoughts, and your spirit with the schedule of heaven. You begin to move to the rhythm of divine orchestration, where everything that once seemed chaotic falls into harmony. You will notice how heaven arranges even the smallest details: the right conversation, the right encounter, The right word all will begin to appear without your effort. That is not luck. That is design. When your spirit is tuned to God's frequency, everything else starts resonating in divine order. Let go of your anxiety about time. You have not missed your moment. The Spirit wants you to know that tomorrow's dawn will mark the beginning of divine timing restored. The years that felt wasted will suddenly redeem themselves. Heaven can do in a moment what you've tried to do for decades. So, as the first light begins to creep through your window, whisper this in your heart: I move with heaven's time. Let that become your declaration. Because when you live in divine timing, you stop chasing what was never yours and start attracting what was always meant for you. Remember, this alignment precedes assignment. Before God gives you a task, He first teaches you His rhythm. This is why He is calling you to meet Him in the morning to adjust your spiritual heartbeat to match His. When you walk in rhythm with heaven, miracles cease to surprise you. They simply become normal. This is what tomorrow holds: the unfolding of heaven's schedule over your life. The divine choreography that has been in motion for years will start showing its pattern. You will stand amazed at how every event, every hardship, every prayer, and every silence formed the perfect sequence for this very season. Chosen one, the schedule of heaven is precise. The command to rise early is not poetic, it's prophetic. There are moments in time where heaven leans closer, and dawn is one of them. That is when the veil between the seen and unseen thins, when revelation flows freely, and when destiny speaks your name. Your task is not to control the timing, but to cooperate with it. Tomorrow morning, surrender your plans and let heaven's timing unfold. The one who orders the universe can certainly order your steps. Let His peace anchor you. His plan is not late, it's right on time. Chosen one. There is a sacred tension that exists between hearing God's instruction and obeying it. Many people hear, but few respond. Heaven does not reward awareness alone, it rewards action. You have been given a divine opportunity, but it will only unlock when your obedience moves faster than your fear. You have felt it before, that inner prompting that says, do it now, yet something in you hesitates. But obedience delayed is often destiny denied. When heaven speaks, response time matters. You are being trained to move with faith, not comfort. This is why the Spirit keeps whispering the same thing: do not delay. Every act of obedience builds a bridge between where you are and where you are called to be. The morning instruction is not about religion. It's about readiness. When you rise early to meet God, you are signaling to heaven that you are available. That signal moves things in the unseen realm, as the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. That means your obedience is the key that unlocks appointed timing. What you call delay, heaven calls preparation. Every instruction you follow is a prophecy in motion. You cannot separate destiny from discipline, for the blessing belongs to the obedient. Obedience is warfare. When you act in faith, the enemy loses leverage. The darkness thrives on hesitation. But when you move quickly, heaven's authority floods in. The battle you face tomorrow morning is not with sleep, it's with spiritual inertia. But you are stronger than that resistance. Remember how many times you felt stirred to act, but fear told you to wait. Every delay built a wall between you and the promise. But tonight, the Lord is teaching you how to break that cycle. This time, you will move. This time, you will obey. The Spirit is saying, you've seen enough to know that my voice is not random. Every command from heaven carries an attached miracle. The moment you obey, the blessing begins to unfold. Even if you don't see it immediately, trust that obedience is never wasted. Heaven always records faith in motion. When you obey, you realign your spirit with divine flow. It's like stepping into a river already moving. You don't have to create direction, you just have to surrender to it. That's what tomorrow morning represents: surrender to divine movement. You may wonder why the command is so specific, why God insists on this early morning obedience. It's because your first action sets the tone for your entire day. When you give Him the first, He blesses the rest. This is the secret: the wise have always known what begins in obedience ends in favor. In the silence of dawn, your obedience speaks volumes. Heaven hears it louder than any song. Angels respond to the sound of surrender. The moment you rise and whisper His name, the universe takes note that one of God's chosen is awake, moving under divine instruction. And as you stand in the stillness, remember this truth: obedience will never make you smaller. It always enlarges your capacity for glory. Each step of surrender makes you more like Him, steadfast, fearless, and radiant with purpose. You will soon realize that your morning act of obedience is not just a task. It's a transformation. Your obedience shifts your identity from listener to doer, from dreamer to fulfiller. It turns you into a vessel through which heaven can move freely. This is why you cannot hesitate. The world waits for the manifestation of the obedient. The mountains move when believers act. You are not waiting for a sign, you are the sign. The way you respond to divine instruction tells heaven that earth is ready for revival. So tonight, decide. Tomorrow morning, move. Your breakthrough is tied to your willingness to obey even when no one is watching. Now, before this message ends, I want you to declare your agreement in the comments. Write these 3 simple words: I will obey. When you type those words, you are not just commenting, you are sealing a covenant. You are announcing to heaven that hesitation no longer owns you. You are declaring to the unseen realm that obedience is your new language. And as your fingers type, something spiritual shifts inside you. Your heart begins to align with heaven's command. Every "I will obey" written below becomes a spiritual banner. Heaven reads your words as commitment, not comment. And just as obedience opens doors in your life, your public declaration becomes a witness to others. Someone scrolling through darkness might see your words and find courage to obey their own divine instruction. Chosen one. Never forget, obedience is not a burden. It is an invitation into deeper partnership with the Almighty. When you rise tomorrow, the same Spirit that called you tonight will strengthen you to act. You will not fail this test. The dawn will see your obedience, and heaven will release your reward. Chosen one, before you step into the morning command, there is something heaven requires of you: release. The weight of yesterday cannot walk with you into a divine tomorrow. Old wounds, guilt, shame, disappointment, these are heavy anchors disguised as memories. If you try to carry them, you will find yourself too burdened to rise. Before the dawn breaks, heaven calls you to break ties with everything that tried to break you. This is not about ignoring the past. It is about surrendering it. God cannot fill hands that are already holding the pain of yesterday. The Spirit whispers, lay it down, all of it. There are moments when release feels like loss, but in truth, it is exchange. You release pain, and God gives peace. You let go of fear, and He gives faith. You surrender bitterness, and He restores joy. What He gives is always greater than what you give up. The question is, will you trust Him enough to let go? We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. chapter 55, verse 22. Cast your burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain you. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Those words were not written for a perfect person. They were written for a weary heart. They remind you that God never expected you to carry everything alone. Every tear shed in secret has been seen. Every silent struggle has been recorded. He is not asking you to be strong. He is asking you to be surrendered. Many chosen ones remain trapped in cycles because they keep revisiting what God already released. They pray for freedom but rehearse their pain. They ask for new beginnings but cling to old endings. The Spirit cannot pour fresh oil into cracked vessels still leaking with regret. Your healing begins when you stop looking backward. Forgive them. Even if they never apologize, release that name, that face, that memory that keeps stealing your peace. You are not excusing what happened. You are choosing not to let it define you. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is warfare. It is declaring that yesterday's darkness will not control today's destiny. You cannot be both prisoner and prophet. You cannot speak of freedom while shackled to offense. The morning instruction God gives you tomorrow will require lightness of heart. Letting go is not optional, it is essential. The dawn only opens for the unburdened. As you prepare for the sacred morning, imagine yourself standing before a vast horizon. The night behind you is filled with all you have endured, all the voices that doubted you, all the pain that shaped you. The light ahead represents what heaven still intends to do through you. Now take one last look at that darkness. Breathe deeply and step forward. You are not running from it, you are rising above it. Some things will not end until you release them. That's the mystery of heaven. What you refuse to let go of will keep its hold on you. But when you release, the Spirit breathes. When you surrender, angels move. When you let go, God steps in. The miracle begins where your grip ends. The enemy wants you to believe that holding on gives you control, but it only gives you exhaustion. Letting go may feel like falling, but grace catches you every time. Remember, he who called you knows how to carry you. His arms are not weak, and his plans are not fragile. If you could see what heaven is written for your future, you would not hesitate to release what is behind you. Every closed chapter clears the page for new revelation. Every goodbye creates space for divine introduction. The pain you thought would destroy you is the very thing preparing your capacity for joy. So tonight, as you prepare your spirit for dawn, speak softly to your soul, I release it all. Feel the tension lift. Feel the peace settle in. The enemy has no power over what you have surrendered to God. Tomorrow's sunrise is not a new day, it's a new dimension. You cannot enter it with baggage from the old one. Let heaven witness your release tonight so that heaven can trust you with revelation tomorrow. Chosen one. You were never designed to carry what you now carry. You were designed to shine, but light cannot flow through hands still gripping the weight of sorrow. So, unclench your fists. Let it go. Allow the Spirit to wash over every scar, turning pain into power. When you finally release, you will feel something miraculous freedom. It won't roar, it will whisper. It will come softly like morning light through your window. That's how God works, quiet, sure, unstoppable. You are not losing anything by releasing, you are making room for everything He promised. The dawn is coming, and this time, you will be ready. When dawn touches the horizon, chosen one, heaven leans close to listen for one sound, the sound of worship rising from your lips. The Spirit has given you a divine pattern to begin each morning by building a spiritual altar. Not one made of stone or wood, but of heart and intention. Every word you speak, every breath of gratitude you release becomes a living flame upon that altar. The altar is not a place you find, it's a place you become. You, standing in your room with lifted hands and quiet awe, are the temple. Your voice is the incense, and your surrender is the fire. Heaven recognizes the aroma of such devotion. The king knows the scent of obedience. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 5. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. That is what the morning altar is about, loving Him first, fully and freely. It's not a transaction, it's a meeting. You do not come to the altar to ask, you come to adore. And when adoration fills the atmosphere, requests become unnecessary, for God begins to anticipate needs before they are spoken. See your altar as a garden. The soil is your spirit, the seeds are your words, and the water is your faith. Every morning you return to that soil and tend it. When you worship, flowers of peace begin to bloom. When you pray, rivers of strength begin to flow. When you give thanks, the fragrance of joy rises and fills your world. But every garden requires consistency. The altar grows cold when ignored. That is why tomorrow morning must become your sacred routine, not your occasional ritual. A single sunrise can alter your destiny, but a lifetime of sunrises will transform your entire being. Imagine this: each morning you kneel before the unseen throne, and the light of dawn becomes heaven's spotlight over your life. You are the candle, and the world waits for your flame. The more you burn in devotion, the more others find their way out of darkness. This altar you build will not only sustain your spirit, it will nourish others too. Every word of gratitude, every moment of worship ripples outward. You may never see all the lives it touches, but heaven records them all. Chosen one. Let your morning altar also be a place of offering, not just of time, but of heart and generosity. When you support the flow of divine messages, you become part of the flame that lights others. It's like adding oil to a lamp. Every drop makes the light last longer. If these messages have watered your soul, let your gratitude return as a seed sown back into the soil that feeds you. Your support, whether through sharing, subscribing, or even giving, keeps the fire burning brighter for others still searching for light. It's not about payment, it's about partnership. You are not buying words, you are sustaining a voice that reminds the forgotten they are chosen too. When you share the message, you become a messenger. When you subscribe, you say, I want to stay close to this flame. And when you choose to give even a small seed, you are helping build altars in places you may never visit. Someone's breakthrough may come because you chose to keep the light alive. Every like is a spark, every share is a torch passed forward, every act of generosity is another stone on heaven's altar. This is how we build a movement of light, one faithful act at a time. Think of it like the story of the widow who brought oil to the prophet. Her offering looked small, but heaven multiplied it until it filled every empty vessel in her house. That's what God does. He multiplies your faith, your time, your giving, until it overflows. Let your heart respond not out of pressure, but out of recognition that you are part of something eternal. This altar is not just mine or yours, it belongs to all who are chosen, all who dare to meet God at dawn. So tomorrow when you rise, light your spiritual lamp. Let your prayer be a song, your breath be worship, your support be fuel. The world is darker than ever, but you, chosen one, are part of the answer. You are one of heaven's keepers of fire. When you tend your altar faithfully, storms will come but never drown your flame. The world may shake, but your light will hold steady. And through your devotion, generosity, and faith, countless others will find their way home. Rise tomorrow and build that altar again. Let heaven smell the sweetness of your offering. And remember, every act of love, whether in worship, in giving, or in sharing, is never forgotten. Heaven never overlooks a flame that refuses to go out. Chosen one, tomorrow's sunrise carries a mystery and a mark. Heaven has hidden a prophetic number inside this divine instruction, a seal that identifies those who walk in obedience at dawn. The number is not coincidence, it is code. It is heaven's signature written in spiritual mathematics, and it has been assigned to you. Before you speak it, understand what it means. This number 8888 represents new beginnings, resurrection, and divine overflow. It is the number of new cycles, of things being made whole again. When you speak or type this number, you are not repeating digits, you are declaring that your life is aligning with heaven's renewal. Every chosen vessel is marked somehow. For some, it is through trials. For others, it is through transformation. For you, it begins with obedience to a prophetic symbol. Numbers in the Spirit are not empty signs. They carry sound, vibration, and command. Heaven responds to them the way earth responds to thunder. As the apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. This is the truth. The 8 carries, it speaks of renewal. It proclaims that what was broken is being rebuilt, what was dead is being revived, and what was delayed is now being released. Tomorrow morning, when you rise in obedience, whisper that number softly as you breathe your first prayer. It will act as a key that opens the gates of fresh beginnings. This is not superstition. This is symbolism sanctified by faith. Heaven uses signs to speak to the human heart. The rainbow was not just light, it was covenant. The dove was not just a bird, it was confirmation. Likewise, the prophetic number is not about counting, it's about connection. It reminds you that heaven is intentional with your life. When you see 8888, let your heart remember God is not recycling your old life. He is resurrecting it. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead is breathing into your days, reviving what you thought was gone forever. Tomorrow's dawn will be proof that death does not end divine design. You have been walking through a season where things seemed to crumble, dreams faded, opportunities vanished, relationships shifted. But the Spirit wants you to know these were not endings, they were emptying. The cup had to be emptied before it could overflow again. And now, 888 marks the moment heaven begins to fill it anew. You may wake feeling ordinary, but as you whisper that number, the atmosphere around you will shift. The presence of God will settle like morning dew. You will feel renewal in your thoughts, your emotions, your energy. Heaven's breath will restore the parts of you that grew weary in the waiting. This number is also a reminder that you are not starting from zero. You are starting from grace. Grace resets what guilt tried to destroy. Grace redefines what loss tried to erase. Grace whispered, "Try again." And when you do, heaven multiplies your effort beyond measure. Tomorrow morning, before your first step, speak at 8. 8. 8. Let it echo from your spirit, not as a chant, but as a declaration of rebirth. The old you no longer fits the future God has written. The dawn you're stepping into requires a lighter soul, a renewed mind, and a faithful heart. You may not feel renewed yet, but feelings follow faith. The moment you act, your soul begins to catch up to your confession. That's the beauty of obedience. You speak life before you see life, and then life appears. So as the sun climbs higher tomorrow, remind yourself this day is a reset. Heaven has granted you another chance, not because you earned it, but because mercy still flows. Every sunrise is a second chance disguised as light. Chosen one, you will begin to notice the number 888 in unexpected places after this. Do not dismiss it. It will show up on clocks, receipts, or pages not as coincidence, but as confirmation. When you see it, whisper, "I receive it," for heaven will be reminding you that your new beginning is unfolding in real time. Now, before this message concludes, make a declaration that will echo in heaven. Go to the comments and type 888. When you write it, you're not performing an act for visibility. You are sealing your obedience in the spiritual record. Heaven will read it as covenant, a signature of surrender. The moment you type it, angels take note. A chosen one has acknowledged the new dawn. Your 888 is your yes to renewal. It's your silent shout of faith. Each one typed below becomes a constellation of agreement, a chorus of souls saying, "We are ready for the new." When you type 888, pause for a moment. Feel the weight of your past begin to lift. Let gratitude fill the space where grief once lived. Because now, heaven declares over you, "Behold, I make all things new." Chosen one, the dawn is near, and heaven now teaches you the rhythm of purification. Before you act on the divine command, before you speak a single word of prayer, you must first be still. Silence is not emptiness, it is cleansing. The morning instruction begins not with noise, but with nothingness. The Spirit calls you to meet God in simplicity. No distractions, no demands, no endless thoughts about what went wrong or what must be fixed. Just quiet. For in that quiet, heaven scrubs away the residue of yesterday. You are being made ready for the sacred moment that comes just before the first light. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs in chapter 4, verse 23, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." This is the essence of cleansing. The heart must be guarded, purified, and tuned to divine frequency. The world will try to flood it with noise, opinions, fears, regrets, but at dawn, heaven gives you a pause button. In that stillness, Marnal, you are washed. Every anxious thought begins to settle like dust in sunlight. Every burden loosens its grip. Imagine this moment as stepping into a clear stream. The water is cool, alive, and forgiving. It flows around your feet and pulls away what does not belong. Each breath you take is another ripple, another release. You do not need to strive to be clean, you simply need to stand in the flow. The first sound you will hear in this silence is your heartbeat. That is not just biology, it is covenant. Each beat declares that you are still chosen, still breathing, because purpose is not finished with you. Every morning that you wake, heaven renews that promise. Before dawn, breathe slowly, whisper nothing. Let your silence speak worship. When you stop trying to fill the air, heaven begins to fill you. The presence of God does not compete with chaos. It waits for surrender. That is why the holiest moments often arrive without words. Cleansing is not only about releasing what is wrong, it is also about remembering what is right. Remember who you are. Remember the victories you forgot to celebrate. Remember the grace that carried you when strength failed. These memories are the gentle cloth heaven uses to polish your faith until it gleams again. The Spirit is saying, "I do not need your perfection. I need your purity." Purity is not flawlessness, it is focus. It means your heart is pointed in the right direction, even if your steps sometimes falter. When you cleanse your heart before the dawn, you are simply turning it fully toward heaven again. You may wonder, how can silence cleanse? Because silence is where truth rises. When the noise dies, you can finally hear your soul. You can finally recognize what has been weighing you down and what must go. And in that awareness, healing begins. Think of silence as God's gentle river. You stand within it, and the water carries away the fragments of fear, the fragments of pride, the fragments of self-condemnation. You leave that river lighter, not because you've lost something valuable, but because the unnecessary has been washed away. This morning, discipline is not for show, it's for survival. In a world addicted to noise, purity of heart is rebellion. Every quiet moment you give to God becomes a fortress around your spirit. The enemy cannot manipulate what it cannot reach, and silence creates distance between you and deception. As you practice this, you will notice that silence becomes your sanctuary. When the world presses in, you'll carry that stillness within you. The cleansing that begins at dawn will follow you into the day. Peace will become your atmosphere. Others will sense it and not know why, but it will be because your heart has been washed in early morning light. Some mornings you may cry. That is also cleansing. Tears are the river's overflow. They carry emotion too deep for words, and heaven treasures each one. When you feel that release, don't resist it. Let the tears fall into prayer. They are your heart's way of exhaling what no longer belongs. When you have poured out everything, worries, fears, exhaustion, sit quietly again. Listen for the faintest whisper. It may not be loud, but it will be clear. God often speaks in the aftermath of surrender. That whisper may be your next instruction, or simply peace saying, I am here. Chosen one. Purification is not an event, it is a lifestyle. You will learn to return to silence often, not only at dawn but throughout your journey. Each return renews you, strengthens you, and keeps you sensitive to the divine rhythm. So tonight, before you sleep, prepare your inner river, and when the dawn calls you again, step quietly into that holy water. Do not rush. Let the Spirit wash your heart until it beats in harmony with heaven once more. Chosen one, once the silence has done its cleansing work and your heart has found stillness, a new stage begins listening. The dawn is not only for speaking, it is for hearing. The same God who formed the mountains still whispers through the quiet. His voice is not thunder, though it shakes the soul, it is often soft, like wind moving through leaves before the sun fully rises. You have prayed, you have waited, you have surrendered. Now heaven speaks, not with the loudness of the world, but with a tone only your spirit can detect. This is why the early hours matter. The noise of life has not yet awakened, distractions still sleep. In that rare quiet, heaven finds space to be heard. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 3. Call unto me, and I will answer you, and show you great and mighty things which you do not know. This is not a suggestion. It is an invitation. God is saying, if you reach for me, I will respond. The conversation you have been longing for is already scheduled in heaven's calendar. But his words do not compete with chaos. They are treasures hidden in stillness. When you enter that space at dawn, you are stepping into a divine classroom. The Spirit becomes your teacher, and revelation becomes your lesson. He may not speak in sentences. Sometimes he speaks in impressions, a sudden thought, a scripture rising from memory, a peace settling on your chest like light. Those are not coincidences, they are communications. Heaven's voice is fluent in subtlety, it does not force, it flows. You may not hear audible sound, but you will sense knowing. A direction will form within you. You will suddenly realize what step to take, what door to close, what prayer to pray differently. This is how God guides the chosen, not by volume, but by vibration. When you hear that whisper, do not rush to interpret it. Let it linger, write it down. Sometimes revelation ripens over time. The first whisper is a seed. Meditation is the sunlight that helps it grow. Return to it throughout your day, and it will reveal more each time you revisit it. Many miss divine direction because they expect a shout and overlook a sigh, but the Lord often hides power in quiet moments. The same voice that calms storms now calms your thoughts. The same presence that spoke to Moses through a burning bush now speaks to you through burning conviction. The form changes, but the fire remains the same. Do not be surprised if the whisper contradicts logic. Heaven's instructions rarely fit human calculations. What seems small may shift mountains. What seems foolish may save nations. The whisper is pure wisdom disguised as simplicity. That is why faith must listen more than it reasons. This practice of listening is not passive, it is participation. You are partnering with the divine mind. Each morning, you tune your heart like an instrument, ensuring every string is ready to echo the melody of heaven's will. You become not just a receiver of words, but a carrier of frequency. When you begin to live like this, you will notice divine patterns forming around you. Answers will arrive in unexpected ways. Conversations will confirm what you heard in secret. Doors will open that match the quiet nudges you received at dawn. This is proof that you are not imagining the voice, you are following it. Sometimes heaven will speak correction. The whisper may remind you of something undone, a person to forgive, or a habit to surrender. Do not fear such moments. Conviction is not condemnation, it is direction. It means the Spirit trusts you enough to adjust you. Every correction is proof of connection. Other mornings, the whisper will bring comfort. You will feel wrapped in warmth that words cannot describe. That is the Father saying, "You are not forgotten." The comfort may come as a verse rising unbidden to your mind, or as a sudden calmness replacing anxiety. Every expression is intentional. Heaven wastes nothing. Chosen one. This is the rhythm of hearing. Silence cleanses, stillness prepares, whisper directs. You are now walking in divine frequency. The more you listen, the more you will recognize His tone even amidst the noise of the world. You will begin to carry that awareness into every hour, hearing divine reminders even in ordinary places. Tomorrow, when you rise and the light begins to breathe across your room, close your eyes. Say nothing. Let your spirit lean forward like a flower toward sunlight. In that leaning, you will hear the whisper again, the same voice that spoke to Abraham, to Esther, to David, now speaking to you. Do not doubt it. The shepherd always calls his own by name, and his sheep always know his voice. Chosen one, every whisper you receive at dawn does not go unnoticed. The enemy also hears movement in the spirit. The moment heaven begins to speak, darkness stirs, for light exposes what hides in shadow. This is why the battle intensifies when revelation comes. Every chosen soul who hears truth becomes a threat to the systems of deception. Do not be surprised when opposition rises after obedience. It is proof you are on the right path. Darkness never fights the silent, it only attacks those who have started to speak light. The morning hour is sacred because the war begins the moment you awaken. But do not fear, your obedience is already your weapon. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11, "Put on the full armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the devil's schemes." That armor is not made of metal, it is made of awareness. When you wake and step into the morning light, you clothe yourself in clarity. Every prayer becomes a shield. Every praise becomes a sword. Every declaration becomes armor. The dawn is not only for peace, it is for preparation. Imagine this as you rise. Unseen armies rise with you. Angels take their positions beside your bed. Your simple good morning. Lord sends shockwaves through darkness. The enemy trembles because another chosen one has reported for duty. You may not see the battle, but the atmosphere around you feels it. You are not defenseless, you are divine property under divine protection. You must understand that warfare is not always dramatic. Sometimes it comes as distraction, exhaustion, confusion. The enemy does not always roar. Sometimes he whispers doubt. That's why the early light matters. It strengthens your inner vision so you can distinguish between God's whisper and the enemy's imitation. When discouragement tries to creep in, remember the pattern. The moment before breakthrough always feels like the hardest test. The same sunrise that reveals beauty also exposes the last traces of night. The pressure you feel is proof that darkness knows it is losing. Hold your ground. You have survived too much to retreat now. The Spirit wants you to know this battle is not against people. It is against the forces that tried to convince you that you were ordinary. Every fear you faced, every rejection you endured, every temptation to quit, they were not random. They were strategic attacks meant to silence your awakening. But your endurance has already broken the pattern. When you stand in the morning light, speak courage. Declare that you are protected. Speak as one who knows their authority. Do not let fear write your script. Let faith narrate your morning. The words you say at dawn echo through your entire day. Speak power, and you will walk in power. Every battle you've faced has been a lesson. Pain taught you discernment. Waiting taught you wisdom. Loss taught you love. You are not entering this war empty-handed. You are armed with experience and anointing. Heaven equips its warriors through the wounds they survive. And while the world sleeps, heaven watches the faithful rise. You are one of them. You are part of a hidden army that prays while others dream, that listens while others scroll, that obeys while others argue. You fight battles most never see, yet your victories shape destinies beyond your own. Chosen one, remember, light doesn't panic when night falls. It simply shines. Your job is not to fight darkness with fear, but to exist as light so purely that darkness loses direction. Every word of truth you speak is a strike of lightning across the enemy's sky. Now, take a deep breath. Feel the strength of heaven moving through your chest. You are not weak. You are a weapon disguised as worship. When you step into the new day, do so with confidence, knowing that no plan formed against you will stand. The battle may roar, but the outcome is already written. And as you finish hearing these words, let your faith rise like the morning sun. Speak life into your atmosphere. Let heaven hear you affirm your stance today. Go to the comments and type, "I stand firm." When you write those words, Madi, you are not performing an act of routine. You are drawing a line in the spirit. You are declaring, "I will not bow to fear. I will not shrink under pressure. I will not surrender my calling." Those 3 words become a banner above your name in the unseen realm. Each "I stand firm" typed below becomes a battle cry across digital space, uniting believers who may never meet but fight the same invisible war. And heaven takes note. The Lord sees every heart that declares loyalty to His purpose. Chosen one, your endurance is worship. Your stability is victory. When you stand, others find the courage to rise. You are not alone in this fight. The dawn is crowded with warriors clothed in light, and you are one of them. Hold your ground, keep your peace, and remember the darkness trembles not because of what you see, but because of who you've become. Chosen one, as the battle begins to settle and the dawn stretches across your world, something begins to shift in the unseen. You feel it first in your spirit, a quiet sense that something new is resting on your shoulders. It is not a burden. It is a crown. Heaven has been shaping it for you all along. One act of obedience at a time. Every moment you chose faith over fear, the crown was forged. Every tear you refused to waste became another jewel set in its band. Every morning you rose when it would have been easier to stay asleep. Heaven recorded your persistence. The crown that now waits for you is not made of gold, it is made of endurance. As the Apostle Paul declared in his second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8, "There is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give." That crown is not just a promise for eternity. It is a symbol for now. It represents authority, clarity, and confidence restored. When you wear it, you no longer walk as a survivor, you walk as a ruler in your realm of purpose. Picture this the moment you open your eyes tomorrow. Light pours across your face like the hand of heaven itself, placing that invisible crown upon your head. You are being commissioned again to walk in the authority that darkness tried to strip away. You are royalty disguised in simplicity. When the world looks at you, they may not see a throne, but heaven does. Every act of obedience is another step toward the seat of purpose built specifically for you. You do not have to fight for visibility. God exalts those who have quietly served. You have been faithful in secret, and now the season of recognition approaches. Chosen one. Remember that the crown you carry is not for decoration, it is for declaration. It tells the world who your king is. It reflects his nature through your life, your words, your kindness, your consistency. When others look at you, they should see the humility of one who knows they wear something holy. This is where many stumble. They confuse the crown with comfort. But a true crown is not meant to make you comfortable. It is meant to remind you of responsibility. You have been chosen to shine so others can see hope again. You are not just wearing glory, you are carrying assignment. And as you step into this royal season, remember the altar you have built through obedience. The light that flows from these messages, from these mornings of devotion, is part of the same divine current that connects countless hearts. If this voice has strengthened you, if it has helped you stand again, let your gratitude become a seed that keeps the fire burning. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you are not just interacting, you are investing in light. Each click is a ripple that may reach someone standing on the edge of surrender. You may never know whose morning is saved because you decided to keep the message alive. And for those who feel led, let your giving, your donation, your offering be your oil poured upon the altar. Just as the woman with the alabaster jar anointed the feet of Jesus, your generosity releases fragrance into this ministry. It says, "I believe in what heaven is building here. No act is too small. Even a drop of oil can keep a lamp burning through the longest night." Think of it as tending a lighthouse on a stormy coast. Each contribution, each share, each word of encouragement is another flame ensuring that lost ships find their way home. You are not just supporting content, you are helping carry light into unseen corners of the world. There are souls you will never meet who will find comfort because of your unseen kindness. That is what partnership with heaven looks like, serving beyond your sight, giving beyond your reach. Every time you engage with this word, you extend its life, its reach, its hope. Chosen one, do it not from duty, but from devotion. Give not out of pressure, but out of purpose. Your support is a love language heaven understands deeply. It keeps the voice of truth echoing through generations that have forgotten how to listen. And as you do, remember this promise: the King who placed the crown on your head will never let your oil run dry. He sees every seed sown, every act of faith, every gesture of gratitude. Heaven's reward is always greater than earth's recognition. Tomorrow, when you rise and feel that invisible crown, touch your heart and whisper, "I am trusted." For you are trusted with light, trusted with influence, trusted to carry heaven's fragrance into every dark place you enter. Wear your crown quietly but confidently. Let your actions reveal your royalty. And may every morning remind you that you are not building fame, you are building fire. Your crown is not a finish line. It is an assignment renewed. Chosen one, the moment you obey the dawn's call, something invisible happens. Your obedience does not echo in isolation, it ripples. What begins in your small, quiet room begins to travel through the unseen, touching others without you ever knowing it. You think you are simply praying, simply obeying, but heaven uses those moments to rewrite atmospheres across the earth. The morning you dedicate to God does not stay yours alone. It becomes part of a greater current, a river of light connecting the faithful across nations and time zones. You are one drop in that current, yet every drop counts. The prayer whispered in your solitude joins another whispered in another city, another language, another heart. Together they form a tide that the darkness cannot resist. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 11. So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it. Your obedience is that word in motion. When you rise early and obey the divine command, heaven releases assignments through your action. Angels are sent to strengthen another because you prayed. A lost soul feels peace for the first time in weeks because you whispered gratitude. Someone on the edge of giving up suddenly feels a pulse of courage because your obedience moved through the unseen chain of faith. This is the mystery of spiritual influence. It never stops at you. The obedience of one becomes the miracle of another. You may never witness the full effect, but heaven sees it all. God measures not the size of the act, but the sincerity behind it. Every dawn you dedicate, every whisper of worship, every quiet yes becomes a spark in a vast constellation of obedience. Imagine a night sky filled with countless stars. Each one represents a soul who answered the call at dawn. Some burn brightly already, others are just beginning to glow. You, chosen one, are among them. Together, your collective obedience forms a galaxy of light that pushes back darkness from the earth. When one of you obeys, the constellation grows stronger. This is what the Spirit meant when it said, "You are the light of the world," not one candle, but a multitude of flames, each burning in different corners yet drawing from the same fire. Heaven watches these lights move across continents and smiles. For this is how revival truly spreads, not always through crowds, but through consistency. Your morning altar becomes a transmitter. Every word of praise is a frequency heaven amplifies. There are people you will never meet who will walk through their own storms, carrying the warmth of prayers you never knew you prayed. This is why obedience at dawn matters. It multiplies. You might think your impact is small, but remember, the kingdom of God grows like a seed. One seed buried deep becomes a forest. One spark in darkness becomes a wildfire. God specializes in turning the invisible into the unstoppable. The ripple of obedience also returns to you. What you release into the spiritual realm finds its way back in multiplied form. The peace you prayed for another returns as strength for your own heart. The mercy you sow in intercession becomes protection over your home. The words you spoke in faith echo back as confirmation in moments you need it most. Every act of obedience strengthens the invisible thread connecting you to heaven's rhythm. The more you obey, the more you feel it. Life begins to align. Coincidences become confirmations. You start seeing patterns that others call luck, but you recognize as divine orchestration. Do not underestimate quiet faithfulness. Heaven builds mighty movements from small obediences. You are not required to understand how it all connects, only to keep saying yes when the dawn calls. The echo of your obedience travels farther than your voice ever could. And though you may never receive applause from men, the applause of heaven is loud. It sounds like peace. It feels like purpose. It manifests as unexpected provision, perfect timing, and divine favor. You will know heaven is pleased because you will carry serenity that defies logic. Chosen one, every morning you rise, you contribute to the healing of the world. You hold back tides of despair with your faith. You turn unseen battles with your prayers. Your obedience is not just about your story, it's about the story God is writing for many through you. Continue walking in this rhythm. Let your obedience remain pure, quiet, and steady. Heaven knows your name, and earth feels your ripple. Chosen one. Heaven has a rhythm of completion, a moment when everything that began in obedience begins to circle back as fulfillment. The number that represents this moment is sacred, powerful, and filled with divine closure. That number is 555. It is the sound of transformation's final phase, the echo of grace finishing its work. This number is not coincidence. It appears when seasons are shifting, when God has decided that the waiting must end. It signifies transition, not chaos, but completion. It whispers what once hurt will now heal. What once broke will now build, and what once was delayed will now be delivered. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 16, verse 20, "You will grieve, but your grief will turn to joy." That is the promise carried inside the number 555. It announces divine reversal. Pain gives way to peace. Burdens become blessings. Every tear shed in the previous season begins to water the soil of your new beginning. The old chapter does not simply close, it transforms into testimony. Chosen one. You have walked through fire, and yet you are still standing. You have carried more than most could bear. Heaven has seen your endurance, your quiet faith, your moments of surrender that no one else noticed. Now the Spirit says, "It is finished." The refining has done its work. The night that felt endless will give birth to morning. This number comes to you not just as a sign of ending, but as the sound of reordering. God is rearranging your atmosphere, setting things in divine sequence. People who exited your life without explanation gone by heaven's design. Delays that frustrated you repositioned by purpose. You were never being punished. You were being prepared for something that could not exist in an incomplete version of you. When you rise tomorrow, 555 becomes more than digits, it becomes declaration. It says the refining is over and the revealing has begun. Every scar glows with wisdom now. Every ache turns into awareness. The light of understanding will touch what used to feel like confusion, and you will finally see why things had to happen the way they did. This is what divine completion looks like, not perfection, but peace. Not the absence of trouble, but the ability to walk through it without losing yourself. Heaven is not promising that everything will suddenly be easy. It's promising that everything will now make sense. Think of your life as a tapestry woven by unseen hands. For years, you've been staring at the underside, threads tangled, colors mixed, knots and twists that made no sense. But 555 means heaven is turning the fabric over. Suddenly, you will see the design. The beauty that was always hidden will now be revealed. When you see 555, take it as heaven whispering, you are ready. Ready for the next door, the new relationship, the higher assignment. Ready to carry peace into spaces that once triggered pain. Ready to teach what you once had to survive. The old version of you cannot follow where you are going. The shedding is necessary. The shifting is sacred. Do not mourn the endings, they are proof that you are alive enough to grow. You have graduated from one dimension of faith to another. The storms you endured were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to identify you as one who could survive the flood. Chosen one. Your transformation is not subtle, it is seismic. Even if you don't feel it yet, everything around you is realigning. The Spirit is bringing divine acceleration to what was once stagnant. The pace of blessing is increasing. What used to take months will take days. What used to take years will take moments. So when you see that number on a screen, a receipt, a license plate, a clock smile, heaven is reminding you that cycles have closed. You owe nothing to the old season but gratitude. You are free to move forward, not as a survivor, but as a steward of what you've learned. And now, seal this moment in faith. Go to the comments and type 55555. When you do, you are not just repeating numbers, you are affirming that transformation has completed its circuit. You are agreeing with heaven's timing and saying, I am ready for what comes next. That number becomes your signature of surrender, your stamp of belief that the process has produced purpose. Every 555 written below becomes a light marking the end of struggle and the start of strategy. It tells the unseen realm, I am finished with fear. I am stepping into fullness. Let the number rest in your heart. Whisper it through the day if you must. Every time you see it, remember that completion is not the end, it's the beginning of impact. The butterfly does not mourn the cocoon. The seed does not grieve the soil. You are not losing, you are emerging. Chosen one, your dawn has matured into day. The work heaven began in silence now shines for all creation to see. And the number 555 stands above you like a banner finished, fulfilled, and free. Chosen one, every divine cycle has a rhythm, and after completion comes consistency. Heaven is not only interested in your awakening, it desires your endurance. The fire that burns brightly at dawn must also burn quietly through the afternoon. It is one thing to rise, it is another to remain. The dawn discipline you have been taught is not meant to be a single spark, but a lifelong flame. Consistency is the bridge between revelation and reality. What you repeat with devotion becomes what defines you. The morning altar, the silence, the listening, the cleansing. These are not random rituals, they are rhythms designed to keep your spirit aligned with heaven's motion. As was written in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not give up. The beauty of this verse lies in its patience. Heaven measures progress not in speed but in faithfulness. God does not count how quickly you build the altar, but how often you return to it. The true test of the chosen is not their first obedience, but their continued surrender long after the emotion fades. Consistency is how trust is built between you and heaven. Each morning you show up again, even when you feel nothing, even when the sky seems silent, even when the world feels heavy. That is faith in its purest form. You are saying, I will not be moved by feeling. I will be anchored in faith. In time, this discipline becomes delight. The same dawn that once felt difficult becomes your favorite hour. The same silence that once felt empty becomes rich with presence. Heaven rewards those who return, not because God needs repetition, but because repetition refines revelation. Every visit to the altar deepens your understanding of who He is and who you are becoming. Consider how rivers carve valleys. They do not rush, they return. Every passing flow shapes the land until beauty emerges. Your devotion works the same way. Each morning of obedience shapes the landscape of your life, cutting through hardness, creating channels where grace can flow freely. Do not despise the days that feel repetitive. Those are the days heaven builds endurance. Faith grows not in flashes of revelation, but in the rhythm of routine. Every sunrise, you choose Him again. Every time you open your heart when it would be easier to close it, you are being strengthened. You are becoming unshakable. Many begin with passion but end with fatigue because they treat divine habits like emotional experiences instead of eternal exchanges. But the Spirit teaches that constancy is the signature of the mature. The same God who meets you at dawn will meet you at dusk if you remain faithful. You will notice something beautiful as you continue this pattern. Your spirit becomes weatherproof. The storms of life lose their power to drown you. The noise of the world fades quicker. You start carrying your morning peace into every room you enter. People will feel it without understanding it. They will call it calm. Heaven calls it consecration. Consistency is also how heaven multiplies trust. When God sees that you can be faithful in private, He begins to entrust you with influence in public. When you have proven that you can keep the flame alive without applause, heaven knows you will not lose focus when visibility increases. This is why you are being trained to repeat what works, because repetition is what makes revelation permanent. Do not chase constant novelty. The deepest growth often comes from doing the same holy thing until it becomes sacred muscle memory. There will be mornings when you wake tired, when the world presses heavy on your chest, when silence feels dull instead of divine. On those days, remember, consistency is stronger than clarity. You do not need to feel His presence to be faithful to it. The choice to show up is worship in its highest form. You are not expected to be perfect, only persistent. Heaven does not demand unbroken enthusiasm, only unbroken commitment. Each time you return to the altar, even with trembling hands, you are telling God, I still believe you are worth my dawn. And He always answers that kind of faith. So, chosen one, continue, keep the rhythm, protect your morning, guard your devotion. Let your consistency become your covenant. Long after excitement fades, may endurance remain. You will discover that what begins as habit will become hunger. Soon, you will not rise because you have to. You will rise because you crave the presence that waits for you. That is when discipline becomes delight and routine becomes revelation. This is how great souls are formed, not in grand moments, but in the quiet repetition of obedience. You are becoming one of them, chosen one, as your rhythm strengthens and your obedience deepens. Heaven begins to reveal a mystery that few understand. The watchers are real. Scripture calls them witnesses, recorders, and observers of human obedience. Every act of faith you perform, every morning you choose to rise, is not unseen. Heaven's court takes note, and your faith becomes testimony written in eternal ink. You have felt it before, that strange awareness when you pray, that sudden warmth when you speak to God alone when you are not imagining it. The unseen realm pays attention to devotion. Every time you whisper His name, heaven leans closer. The universe adjusts its gaze to watch one human soul yield to divine will. As it was written in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily entangles, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. This is not poetic exaggeration, it is truth. There are witnesses, celestial and ancestral, who have seen you endure. Angels, saints, those who finished their races before you, they stand as observers of your faith. You are not alone in this unseen arena. Every act of perseverance adds to a record being written in heaven. These watchers are not judges waiting for failure. They are witnesses cheering for completion. They marvel when a soul, once lost in chaos, begins to walk in divine order. They celebrate when you choose silence instead of panic, forgiveness instead of bitterness, obedience instead of comfort. Your smallest victory ripples through the realms as music of redemption. But not all who watch are for you. Darkness also observes. It studies patterns, seeks weak points, and sends distractions designed to fracture focus. Yet, the more you walk in light, the more heaven strengthens its watch around you. Angels are dispatched to defend consistency. Every morning that you rise, the balance of power tilts toward light. Understand this: you are part of a cosmic narrative. Your obedience is evidence against despair itself. When you worship in weariness, you testify to the goodness of God before an audience that includes both angels and adversaries. Each moment of faith says to the unseen, love still wins. This awareness should not create fear, it should create reverence. You walk daily under observation not because you are small, but because your purpose is immense. You are a living scroll on which heaven writes lessons for generations to come. Your faithfulness is scripture being written through human life. Every kind word you speak, every temptation you resist, every quiet prayer you whisper contributes to the story heaven tells about divine endurance. The watchers record it all, not for punishment, but for remembrance. When history fades, faith remains, and your obedience will still echo. Think of Daniel, whose prayers in exile reached the heavens. The watchers recorded every word, and when the answer was delayed, angels moved because persistence was documented. Your devotion works the same way. Every time you pray and see no immediate result, remember the records are filling. Heaven's timing is never late, it is layered. This is why the Spirit emphasizes purity of motive. When you act in secret without applause, your reward grows in the unseen. But when action seeks visibility, its reward is already spent. True power belongs to those who obey quietly, knowing that heaven keeps better score than the world ever could. Chosen one, the watchers are also witnesses to your transformation. They saw who you were, and now they see who you are becoming. That contrast glorifies God more than any sermon. When the same person who once wavered now walks in unwavering peace, all of heaven stands to honor the miracle of maturity. The record being written of your life is not about perfection, but progression. The watchers are chronicling your growth, not your guilt. Every time you rise again after falling, they record grace in motion. Every time you choose hope over despair, they record victory over darkness. Let this truth steady you: you are never unseen. Even in the quiet corners of your struggle, witnesses surround you. Heaven's library contains chapters named after your endurance. When the day feels heavy and purpose seems distant, remember that you are contributing to eternity's testimony. And when your race is complete, when your days on this earth have been fully spent, the same witnesses will stand to receive you. The record will not show perfection, but persistence. It will tell the story of a soul who kept rising, kept seeking, kept loving despite the weight. So, walk carefully but confidently. You move through realms that watch, and yet you are loved in every gaze of heaven. The watchers see not your flaws, but your faith. Keep running your race, the record is still being written. Chosen one, heaven is calling forth a remnant, a generation of mourning warriors who refuse to sleep through destiny. You are part of that rising company. The dawn has trained you, the silence has shaped you, the whispers have taught you, and now the world will feel your light. This is the moment when solitary obedience becomes collective movement. You are not meant to walk alone. The same fire that burns in you also burns in countless others scattered across the world, souls awakening at the same hour, hearts whispering the same prayers. The Spirit has been gathering them quietly, weaving invisible threads that now form a radiant tapestry. This tapestry is the remnant woven not by religion but by relationship with God. As was proclaimed in the book of Joel, chapter 2, Verse 7, "They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, keeping their ranks." That is the description of this generation. You march not with swords, but with surrender. Your weapon is faith. Your anthem is obedience. You are the ones who rise before the world wakes, who listen before you speak, who build altars before you chase applause. You are the spiritual dawn keepers, ensuring that light continues to spread. Picture this movement like 1,000 candles being lit across the earth. One in a small apartment, another in a quiet village, another in a city high-rise. Each flame looks small, but together they push back oceans of darkness. That is the power of unity among the chosen. The brightness multiplies, the warmth expands, and the world begins to glow again. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you are not simply supporting content, you are striking a match. Every interaction you make becomes a spark that travels further than you can imagine. Somewhere, a tired soul may stumble upon that spark and remember that hope still exists. That is how heaven uses small gestures to perform great miracles. And when you donate, when you choose to sow into the message that has poured into you, it is as if you're placing oil in the lamp that lights the way for others. It is sacred participation, not transaction. You are helping keep the lighthouse glowing so that lost ship souls adrift in confusion can find their way home. This is not about obligation, it is about overflow. Those who have been filled naturally pour. You give not because you must, but because gratitude overflows. Your generosity becomes the sound of your worship, a fragrance heaven receives as partnership. Think of it like a vineyard. Every share is a seed, every like a drop of rain, every act of giving a beam of sunlight. Together, they produce fruit that nourishes the world. That fruit is not fame or wealth, it is awakening. The vineyard of light grows wherever hearts respond in unity. The remnant you are part of is not built on personality, it's built on presence. It is not gathered by popularity, but by purpose. Each one who connects here, each one who engages, becomes another soldier in this invisible army of dawn. You are bound not by walls, but by will, one spirit, one calling, one mission to keep the flame alive until the world sees morning again. There is beauty in knowing that your simple acts carry eternal weight. A comment of faith may strengthen a stranger across ocean. A single share might reach someone standing at the edge of giving up. A seed sown in love may ignite a fire that burns through generations. Heaven keeps account of all of it. So, as you engage with this message, do it with understanding. You are not just a listener, you are a co-laborer in divine purpose. When you click, when you comment, when you contribute, you become part of heaven's distribution system for light. The more you participate, the wider the glow spreads. And as this movement grows, let your comment section become a place of encouragement. Share what these words have stirred in you. Speak hope. Bless others. Let the comment space be a garden where testimonies grow and faith blooms. You never know who might be scrolling through darkness and find your words as a bridge back to belief. Chosen one. This is the rise of the remnant men and women who carry quiet fire, who give generously, love deeply, and move faithfully. You are one of them. This is not an audience being built. It is an army being assembled. Together, your voices create harmony in heaven's symphony. So when you like, share, subscribe, or give. Do it with the heart of a warrior and the tenderness of a worshiper. You are sustaining light for those who still wander. Every action, no matter how small, keeps the flame alive. And as you write your reflections below, let heaven read your gratitude. For this isn't just another post, it's part of a prophecy being fulfilled through you. Chosen one, the time of quiet obedience has not been in vain. Now the effects begin to unfold. Heaven does not forget faithfulness. It multiplies it. The rewards of obedience are not always sudden storms of blessing. They are often soft rain, falling steadily until every dry place in your life begins to bloom again. What you planted in secret through prayer, through consistency, through unseen devotion is now breaking the soil. You may not hear the sprouting, but it is happening. Heaven has begun to release the harvest of all those mornings when you rose despite weariness, when you gave despite lack, when you worshiped through tears. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 1, verse 3. He shall be like a tree planted by rivers, bringing forth fruit in its season. Whatever he does, prospers. This is you now, a tree planted by divine design. Every discipline has become a root, every prayer a ring in your trunk, every sacrifice a deeper anchor into living water. The reward of obedience is not just blessing, it is stability. You are no longer easily shaken. What used to break you can now only bend you. The evidence of heaven's favor often begins quietly. Doors open smoothly without the sound of hinges. People begin to notice your peace without knowing its source. Opportunities find you rather than you chasing them. It is not coincidence. It is current. You are moving in the stream of divine flow where effort turns into ease because alignment has replaced anxiety. The first fruits of obedience appear as peace. The world will call it calm, but you will know it is presence. Circumstances might not change instantly, but your posture within them will. What once made you tremble will now make you pray. What once provoked fear will now trigger faith. This is the invisible prosperity of the obedient. Provision also begins to manifest, sometimes through people, sometimes through timing, sometimes through unexpected favor that rearranges what seemed impossible. You begin to notice that everything needed arrives exactly when it should. That is how heaven rewards punctual obedience with punctual provision. The same God who orchestrated your mornings now orchestrates your miracles. Your relationships will also shift. The more obedient you become, the more your atmosphere changes. Some people will drift away not because of anger, but because their frequency no longer matches your growth. Others will arrive, drawn by the peace you carry. Heaven always rearranges your circle when destiny deepens. Do not mourn what leaves, make room for what aligns. The reward also touches your inner world. Your mind will find clarity that once felt impossible. Decisions become easier because confusion loses authority where obedience reigns. You will sense divine nudges, subtle but sure, leading you into places you didn't know you were ready for. Heaven's direction feels like peace pressing you forward. And beyond personal reward lies purpose. God never blesses you just to make you comfortable. He blesses you to make you capable. The peace, provision, and stability now flowing into your life are not for accumulation but for assignment. You are being prepared to carry more light, to reach further, to build what others will one day depend upon. This is the quiet glory of obedience. It transforms ordinary people into living answers. You are becoming a solution, a safe space, a testimony that silent devotion is louder than any sermon. People will notice the shift before you speak it. They will sense authority when you enter a room, not because you announce it, but because heaven's fragrance follows the obedient. Chosen one. The season of reward is not only about receiving, it is about recognizing some of your blessings have already arrived disguised as peace, as closure, as wisdom, as healing. Look again at your life. What you once called loss may actually have been God's gift of space for new glory to grow. Heaven's reward is never one-dimensional. It touches spirit, soul, and circumstance. It brings balance, not just breakthrough. The same God who called you to rise early now calls you to rest securely. What you have built in discipline, you will now live in delight. You are stepping into divine rhythm, where your mornings feed your days and your obedience feeds your overflow. The drought has ended. The rains of reward are steady, and they will not cease. Chosen one, breathe deeply. Feel the ease returning to your walk, the strength flowing through your hands, the light settling over your life. You are living proof that those who seek first the kingdom never seek in vain. Chosen one. The journey has brought you here to the final stage of your divine assignment. Everything that has been spoken before has been leading to this, the commissioning of your soul as a keeper of the dawn. Heaven now entrusts you not only with revelation but with responsibility. You are no longer merely responding to light, you are carrying it. This is not the end of your calling. It is the beginning of your stewardship. The same voice that woke you from spiritual sleep now whispers a deeper truth: you are part of heaven's continuity plan. Every act of obedience you've practiced was never meant to end with you. It was meant to flow through you, shaping the world you inhabit. This journey is a seed now planted within you, but seeds are meant to grow. Let this word sprout into action, into kindness, into courage. Let it shape how you speak, how you love, how you move through each day. The truest proof of revelation is transformation lived out, as the Word of God declares in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. This verse is your mantle now. It is heaven's reminder that light kept private eventually fades, but light shared becomes eternal. The dawn that began within you must now extend outward, illuminating others who still wander in spiritual night. You have been prepared through stillness, purified through silence, strengthened through battle, and steadied through consistency. Now, you carry what few possess: clarity. You see the invisible patterns of grace shaping human stories. You sense when heaven leans near and when mercy moves. This sensitivity is not weakness, it is divine awareness. From this moment forward, you live as a dawn keeper. You are called to maintain the rhythm you've learned: silence before sunrise, gratitude before words, surrender before planning. This posture keeps your soul aligned with divine purpose. Each morning will remain your meeting point with eternity, where instruction flows and peace renews. But more than personal renewal, you will notice your influence expanding. Your peace will begin to affect rooms before you speak. Your patience will soften hearts that have grown defensive. Your compassion will awaken hope in those who gave up on miracles. This is how dawn keepers operate. They release light simply by existing faithfully. Heaven's final charge to you is not dramatic, it is daily. It asks you to guard your mornings like sacred soil. Within those early hours, God continues to plant what will become fruit for generations. Some mornings will bring revelation, others will bring rest. Both are holy. Your only task is to show up. You will notice that the longer you walk this path, the simpler everything becomes, as you will desire fewer things but value them more deeply. You will find beauty in ordinary rhythms: the sound of the wind, the warmth of sunlight, the heartbeat of prayer in quiet rooms. These are not small moments. They are the true riches of awakened living. The world around you will continue to chase noise, but you will carry stillness. You will stand as evidence that peace is possible even here, even now. People may not understand the source of your calm, but they will feel it. And through that calm, heaven will draw them closer to light. This is what it means to live chosen, not to be above others, but to stand among them as proof that grace still works. You are not an escapee from pain. You are a witness that endurance transforms. You are not untouched by struggle. You are living testimony that faith triumphs within it. Let humility be your crown and compassion your language. Dawn keepers do not shout their holiness. They live it quietly, consistently. They hold torches in trembling hands and let their gentleness become strength. Wherever you go, light goes. Wherever you pray, peace follows. Wherever you forgive, healing begins. Heaven's eyes remain upon you, not in scrutiny, but in celebration. The watchers who recorded your endurance now record your fruit. Every moment of obedience has matured into wisdom, and wisdom is the fragrance of those who have walked with God. As you continue, remember dawn never truly ends, it moves. The same light that wakes one horizon soon touches another. You are part of that flow, carrying illumination from your corner of the earth to hearts far beyond your reach. The message heaven leaves with you now is simple but eternal: guard your flame, but do not hide it. Live so that your mornings become sermons, your peace becomes prophecy, and your love becomes living scripture. Chosen one. Rise each day knowing you are no longer searching for purpose, you are walking in it. You are the dawn keeper, the steady flame in the shifting winds, the living reminder that obedience births light, and when future mornings come and the world still sleeps, you will wake again, not out of habit, but out of holy partnership. For heaven and earth meet each day in the heart of one who listens. Chosen one. Take a breath. You have journeyed through the dawn, walked with revelation, and stood beneath heaven's voice. This message was never random. It was a love letter written in divine timing, sent to awaken what still sleeps inside you. You have listened, absorbed, and grown. But remember, the story does not end here. It continues with you. Everything you have read, every truth that stirred your spirit was meant to plant something deep: faith that endures, peace that travels, light that multiplies. Now, you carry that light into the world. You are no longer a seeker of direction. You are a bearer of it. Your life becomes the sermon heaven preaches to others. Think of yourself as a lantern after the storm lit. Steady, guiding. The world around you needs that glow. Someone somewhere is stumbling through darkness, waiting for a flicker of hope, and your small light might be the one that leads them home. That is why this message must not stop with you. Let it flow. If these words have touched your heart, let them touch others too. Like this message to let heaven see your agreement with its truth. Share it not as an act of routine, but as a ripple of compassion. Somewhere, someone's dawn depends on your willingness to pass the flame forward. And before you leave this sacred space, write a reflection below. Comment something that this journey awakened in you, perhaps a sentence, perhaps a simple "I receive it." Your words might become the bridge for another soul to cross from confusion to clarity. If your heart feels called, subscribe and stay within this circle of light. Each new message builds upon the last, weaving a thread of strength through every chosen one who listens. Together we keep the altar burning. Together we keep dawn alive. You are not just a follower, you are part of a divine family spread across continents, united by the same morning call. Every like, every share, Every word written here helps heaven's message travel further than any single voice could. Carry what you've received, live it, reflect it, and when the next sunrise comes, remember you are not just watching the dawn, you are the dawn.